day, if there is to say around. This is October the 10th, 2015 of this Saturday. Shabbat Shalom Israel. Shabbat Shalom Melech. Shabbat Shalom. Israel. Shabbat Shalom, Mr. President, Your Honor. Redemi smat lekia British Chapter Kachatvi Matmeov Mehansim. Here is about 8:58, all around 9, evidently, in AM. And I am just woke up. Starts breathing at this day. You know, I just came to this, my address in Buenos Aires last night. I wearing my white shirt that I just were wearing yesterday. I just came and I were really feeling terrible. Well, I'm gonna take my infusion. We were really fresh last night, like we were speaking, if you won't forget. Really freshy, like and around how's this spring day or spring night actually. And suddenly the real for breaff and 6 weeks. Get me on the Then, no, yeah, okay. Get this common legislature and chef Adlet man, that secretary probably into this. Reading is not exorcist sheriff. So certainly for the clearing this and for the problem, where exactly the not says to Shabbat. I was simply with the situation with the wish I to accede into the reality to live in. I know you wanted either come to some diplomat's house. And the problem were exactly the same, and they were threatened as well, as you know, and I'm so sorry, and I need to end like this. Today still are the proud of the abominables that generate with sober face watching, as if I would be some class of scum and they poor offense, worthy and pride for I don't know what class of abominable extra, but that lesson forget. Sorry. Okay. Berles met Sahal. Berles solve the smugglers in the Clash for the team and Gamitim and just ibuprofen for what I told you. I go through I actually further tensions and extra I don't need that. Okay, Berles zegt me geverteld, ze shaptika raakzamat leismita the smatim in Gamatim, so I just wear a little cold and even with the leather jacket wherever it left me as something. Okay, just we're through, we done the Shabbos, we needed to do and I done extra. I apologize because of I didn't breathe. You. The reality of the extra are the people that Danner never had enlisted, but I told him, please keep them there until I to reach out to you the information, and then could approach him with all of the information. We are talking an extra for 504% more of the number, and we are going to work today, I promise you. I release you from the weight, I'm sorry. I'm going to move them to a safe place like we always have been trying to do. And I need they to be there with Merlin and are all legal as you have as well invested for as the lesson anti-risk. And so suddenly with this soul for the emergency and today just moving the weight of this and they to be safe and with it just in order. I apologize and I thank you for patience. For other side, I just done the order for the impartition of clearing. And the clearing were the 308% extra of the whole of the listas that you know are with no way back. And so suddenly, Redemi myself, and somehow here in Buenos Aires, the fevered atrophia of hell, Sodoma-Gomorra, keeps on making that date of first and dates as first, and Bertha Sechnati were the whole of the night, and he even tells me to concede that and that we do accept and believe that he just were this. I just slept down here like you also had at the protocol, or we were speaking at the late night yesterday of Buenos Aires. We're around 1:30, and I just slept down and currently slept really not so fine. Degenerados, consider of expertise, and the new vermins in town of Southern Lamar, making the same 4 days, having a career over profaning and the generation that you know. For the clear of this, there were 3 more courts for terrorism by Ejército Argentino, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Federal Argentina, seated Evangelistas Unidos, and the disaster and chaos that we were discussing yesterday that I showed you and to Mr. President that this morning this wanted to make an impartition for destructions of the social, at the justice bodies and at governments, and also, naturally, international courts, the United Nations, all as institutionals and all as we know. Clearing for this, United Evangelics are all involved, and like I showed you yesterday, what they proceed into the making, saying that they are the poor ones, and that there will be fighting against the demons, but making Sodoma boners, sort of the word, because this is exactly what they dedicate as well. So inciting the possible boner for they to make the supposed the other chick killing, to blow chap, and sorry the word again, for there to say give me 50 of all you take off of them, go to F word, we are going to defeat the enemy, and say that they manipulate demons, and cheat demons, making them conceit, like the breaff and saying that they are handling for the breaff, and God will never forget that. For the major break and murder instigations, and saying that they have threats to possess the patrimonies of Jewish and every one of ours at the 50%. And the whole of the brains with the marioneta, sodomita, milica, just like the before praying one, and crudo, carnívoro, cabrero, Condia, and it's not a lie. And puppets. The 5th BMC mask and the 8th BTIC mask are still rolling, still forwarding at the magazine, with I am Christina Kirchner, and I am this, and I am that, and are sick, and are crap, and are just like the missing, some glass of, natural emplacement for identity. Okay, you know what? Glass of meat in a fail machine. Like we were discussing last night, you already know everything, you could perceive in everything. The missing static mataligiswa plechmachenim would be a pleasant map, and rechtsechninit. The verlieve shop the wegbank plechbachlag matlachinit, the soft the sankram, and redesach matlachmian sechavalektika spatlechem, but the skier of the holop matlachian, but the swadlikak machalvis soflekim. Gech machlaki, Revesechlok, se amatleris motseshem. Revesechlach amatleris amtlevesat, the hik, Revechlamat, se sodris, se shabdiris motlevetan, Ravakim abam. Dechlakin, Revechlaki, Revechlavesos levet. Gech machliki, mochlech, poblevesat, Lechmatlekin, Revechlaki, Eses levesos. Gech machlak, Atlechti, Hamatlevesos livim. Ben Pikrede Sechal Atlas Social Bless and Blessma Se and Regadis Modeling. Ketsikad and Ketlitim, but Lasicho, but Levisot, Levismont, Levisant, Levison, Havika, and Lekima Revefecha, Ze Osheo Loki, Revefelecha, but Likimiam, Levisot, Haviko, Vatika, Ankerach, Lakama, Rimilina, Seso, Levisot, Sherefim, Remoblech, Machale, Revitech, Lechabat, Lechma, Sevesot, Levisot, Shebetlecha, Beto, Kamat, Enkerach, Lechim, Levecha, Levisot, Sherivisametech, Denovan. And that is exactly the whole, as we were discussing yesterday, with Mr. Presence as well, and the whole of the situation, that delivers in a very disaster at the today for what they planned that I sent you and you saw. So, nobody died, and there were 504,000 persons kidnapped with the same purpose, but we have them. And the problem is here always, Argentina, Brazil. Telling you, evangelics were the whole of the last days with the instigation, universals, brains, and carnivals. You can take of it, you can take everything. God gave us His Spirit and His spiritual, His capacity, and desperate demons that generate in heat for the robbing me. All that I will ever accede into, or that I will ever try to reach, or anyone that will ever try to kill me, were permanently the same carnival, brain crudo, cabrera and anacondia, to robbing everything, Attica and anything. And even inside of Freighton, Stemateas and any other, is exactly what evangelics in Argentina and Brazil are. With the pardon of few. Profaning me, making the same witchcraft like Sodoma-Gomorra, which are exactly the same. Everyone, except the list I sent you. And it's exactly the same class of things all over, and saying that Sodoma and Gomorrah are divine. And instigating for more savages, saying that they are me, and this cannot be taken away, that I gotta be destroyed and my mother raped and murdered for the defeating me. For I wouldn't let go, and supposedly the Lord will ever give me, and that will be the way to ending, pretending to associating my person as Il Narud, because of Laban had nothing to do with that. Il Narud were the Ben-Ratim and Shaul and Minon. So suddenly saying, oh, David had two, and third to saying that. And destroying it and making strategy that the Bible doesn't specify in the Vatican. And forging and making the generations that they said I done with it. We found this. And it's a piece of burned leather around and saying that that is elding for the time. Evangelics. But smart shit, I'm sorry the word. That was the problem. And keeps on saying that target that generates Sodoma-Gomorra, like any prostitute of hell, does, for them to defend the business. And making business about. So the ones that still are remaining around, you know who they are. Yes, the complete brief about who were executed and who still breathe. That the generations like the Southern Towers and make the whole of the business and compounding this machinery of the generados. And, oh, of course you're divine, come on. Sorry for that, but it's exactly what they do. Are the generados diablazos reventados more than ever. And Rebaflechnitsama making me more damages and more destructions and profaning me more and saying that Lord gave them my life and they can be me and doing what I do and having business about my person and saying, oh, did he already presented? You remember the designs last year and at the beginning of this year. Renault stepped away to making a Sabbath, a light Sabbath, four-wheel drive on that, extending the charge capacity that I also published. We were working with Renault Paris and with Justice Parties Israel, and also Matt with Dr. Molt and Professor Halgan, which is for the companies of the Detroit College, but the same Yale, Columbia, and Georgetown, for the giving the right career to teach, to formatting people for cars designing. So 7, in the middle of the salt forge of the Paris, we were working awesomely that day and yesterday, making again like you expected and you shown, profaning me and making the teller chat and saying, oh, but Lord has given us, we can take his gifts and his life and his thoughts for we to do. He's not allowed to having nothing and we're thinking he's preparing. And this is the way they spoken. Prosper. The Lord taking everything away and given to us. His life, his spirit, his gift, we are going to trust of glory. And tells the same to maricas violadoras, sobre the word viene this, and perras violadoras. You're divine. Don't you worry, you're divine and you can have its life. In our everyday more perros degenerados. En comisaría 12 y comisaría 38 donde plech halikim isabipad. Reba plech machliki bisot lemesech likim avlevesamsim are comisaría 12 with Catedral de la Fe permanently. The ones that were confused and making things a trend to over, but covering the whole, except for the 5 which were murdered, for the staging in front of the rest and everybody. And the rest all which are the complete of the list with merely making the coverage for no one to see, no one to know, just keep it on that way and they do because the state knows what to do. And saying to give its life and to give everything, to give what they already had, because of they has rights to take it, we are controlling this one. And he's not going to call himself Elia no more. And we are not going to allow this. Where have been seen Elia to be a fag? And what exactly the terms that you received. But this fags, prostitutes, degenerates, considered to be authorities of God and anointed. Diablos degenerados, brujas de Sodoma. And it's the way they dies. And, of course, comisaría 12, degenerada, reventada mierda, always make it the same except the ones that we renewed and put away, and put it away. And suddenly last night I had to, like you already know, wild extortions in another, and situations that you were handling, I'm sorry for that. Supposedly to come to scratch a bag, right? And I'm sorry the terms again, it's vulgar, it is, but it's exactly around the terms that you received. So suddenly I had to scratch it back and ram lachim, right? I'm sorry, but ram nothing. I am exactly, I'm not no feline, no gramasech lachim, impossible. That is sech matzech libishot lebesech lachabas mitzachim over, ingle gebechalebesech lachis. So I will be kamat lechmatim, orgam that lebesem around. Maricas או הקליקס. ותלסך מצלח מיצישות לבסן ריליפס לקישתצם, אגר עצח יצאות לבסמת לך מן רבסס Elishel, right? Blabesmat lakim revasim, forget the terms, and I know you need I to say them for other global reasons, and I'm sorry in a way. Okay, while I have a breakfast, I hope this to be storage enough for what I got to tell you. Otherwise, I'm going to start making partition of videos. Sorry. Okay, so much partition of exactly segmenting, right? Okay, רצפת מין שהתחלתי לצעוק ולצשר באופליסטי מיסים. גיבוש מהכלימן. גבר ספי עוד שבטלך ניצם. So instigated the whole of the situation and organized, like we discussed yesterday, to take in the government. And they were manipulating with the ones in the U.S. and the Sodoma-Gomorra, Policía Federal Argentina, Inteligencia Federal, Servicio Inteligencia Argentino, Militares Inteligencia Estrategia Argentina, with United Evangelics of Guillermo Horacio Brain. And I'm talking about the ones that are in President's Argentina, in the United States of America with Edwin Kollak, Charles Maive and Danny Lulel. You remember the heads of the Netherlands US. Organizing and making tailored chat about the whole of the state secret, the whole of the DMT, the whole of the PIC, and have been doing the same with Almil Marus, Raimok, and Hochtisch in Europe, which are the head of Netherlands in Europe. And also what in Europe were delivered to Islam with Avagum and Donor, which were executed by the same Islam with the whole Aryan. And they knew what happened, and they really exterminated them. Say no more. Taking the right secrets of state and preparing for the taking the city of Jerusalem, they said, having the states of secret of Israel, and we catched but for 6 elements which you have at the shape of evidence. Complete. And it's exactly the core, the source, and the reality, and the organ for intelligence for this proceeding. We are the government of the world. And it's complete. We have people suffering here, and a lot. And there are happening more destructions and more damages, and I'm going to proceed at this day, and I'm feeling tired. Are profaning me for more, are making more instigations, more degenerations about my person, where the whole night through I were sleeping here with no laptop, just the Android, which were manipulating on me and turning it off and making other class of offense. And even plechti quati svatlekim resechmot in seveshov, Remaplechmatsich Matsio, Blevespop, Blevesmatikan Ravam, and Betlesech Piatachali Soshedim. I supposedly have to and where again Sodoma-General was waiting for me, saying that I had to bend down and bow chat. Awaiting in 18 courts around this town, and 2 were Puerto Madero, and 1 La Boca. So, and one of them were last night is Malvinas, Argentinas, no, the street is Curapaligue Street, intersection, Rivadavia Veno, Comisaria 12, Policía Federal Argentina, wherever we should I show you what is instigated a moment beside of look how do I make it or make them wishing the pack starts like this and starts to, and this is part of the, like I said, events of the pack, events of the, okay, word, balls, Remaplecmacephalikim, or starts to scratching and manipulating and putting the hand right on the bell and trying to approach the hands and trying to, you understand, right? So suddenly, always trying to focus and refer him, making the witch the General America, chap for all, feel me, want me, smell me. Also that is not a joke, guys. Am I hot? Do you like me? In other places, señorita, no, I am after. You just go to what we set the order, and you're going to have me after. Pedazo de generados. Which they don't say, but we understand what they do. And supposedly we will be of God, and we will have to hear, and they will ever have the right to understand that they are going to be in us. And that there wouldn't be no God, but them. And telling that I will be destroyed and they will hit me the hell out and running me and killing me. and killing my old people if I wouldn't proceed into doing instead talking. But I had to shut up, and presidents de Argentina are the head of this as well with evangelistas degenerados. And Carnival is más, es más prostituto degenerado con toda su congregación de degenerados, atrofiadas diablas, que nunca, y no me están ayudando, nunca me ayudaron ni lo harán. Son enfermitos compulsivos, degeneraditos faloperitos compulsivos, like they pretend to be. On to transfer, because of Lopez are not going to be embarrassed. And yes, it's true. They and Guillermo Arce praying on profaning me for there to be some miracles and blow-chopping to the cat in some houses, cars to say, Lord, give it to you, here you get your miracle. Lie. It's not a lie. That's paraded for, we're not going to be embarrassed, and this is going to be the way we saw. Gabach Maslachimisem, forgive me please the terms, he's dealing every day with this, like you also aware of me, I say to you, okay. Cheboplikima, Rebespatikar at Eshol, Ben Rotimo and Timikimifech Obabliti the Seshedet Lerabimat. The Sa Atleki Rebefekte Koshke Otika Ha Echmo Alim. Imodlen Chebefech Masech Visoshivisen. Gerer Tetla and Rebechla Chebet Oselish Matsevovim. Kachmat left this sechli yashvat, like Kachmat, like his fasalim, forget the place, I'm sorry. Respika ralikishvat zeok, achmani lim, admi animot living him, but lesser